right now. Hey, everybody. We're back at the Grand National Truck Show here in Pomona, California. We're sitting here with Evan.
Yes. Yeah. Veazie Brothers.
And you guys are here with the truck that is one of the contenders for the world's most beautiful truck.
Yeah. We're from Pomona, California. We brought a 1941 Willys pickup that I did for a customer, Larry Jacinto, and it's out of Redlands. Got 6 years in building this truck. Everything has been touched, handmade from the ground up, from chassis to suspension to the wheels. Although the wheels are, they've been messed with, but they're original 60s ET.
Are they really? Wow, okay.
Sand-casted wheels. So we inherited the project from a prior builder that passed away, a guy that was pretty famous in the industry, Bob Bauder.
Sure.
And we inherited the project and we're taking on the challenge of finishing it, but everything, sheet metal modification, we did everything in-house besides paint and upholstery. But I feel we got the nicest truck here, but I'm way biased. I got 6 years of my life wrapped up in one
got
project.
A few years wrapped up into it.
Yeah.
Right. So did you have a connection at all with Bob Bauder?
I didn't have a connection with Bob Bauder other than I worked for SoCal Speed Shop for 14 years. My boss was Pete Shaporis.
Right.
He was good friends with Bob.
They were good friends. Yes, they were.
So I would see Bob come in the shop. Pete introduced me to Bob. I became good friends with Bob's two sons, Danny and Brad.
Yeah.
So I grew up with Danny and Brad and hung out with them, and that's how I never actually got to work with Bob.
Right.
But
you
even
had a connection there.
Yeah, there was still a connection without there being a connection. And even when we took on this project, if I had an issue of where I didn't know what Bob wanted to do, I could call Danny and Brad and come down, hey, let's look at this.
Yeah.
Tell me what your dad would have done here. And then we would collaborate and kind of figure out what was the best way to go about whatever issue I was having.
That's real.
And it kind of meant a lot to me to be able to finish it in the fashion that Bob wanted to do. So that's why we also brought two of Bob's personal cars
I noticed
here.
that. Mm-hmm. Right.
The panel truck and the 32 pickup that were Bob's personal cars, which my customer Larry's also purchased. So
nice.
He has this thing with collecting Bouter cars.
Yeah.
He feels that Bob Bauder didn't get the recognition that he deserved, and he wants to preserve
showcase that. Okay.
Yeah, so he's got a little thing, and it's kind of cool.
Right.
And we actually, for another customer, we just purchased Bob Bauder's 32 sedan that was on the cover of Hot Rod magazine in '85.
Okay.
And we're going to go do a mechanical restoration on that.
Oh, good.
So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
It's funny. I was able to go up to see Bob at his place
in
Crestline a couple years before he passed.
Yeah.
Me and Chris Coddington went up there and we did actually Jason and I, we did like a little interview, kind of like background thing. And I don't remember which one of his sons it was, but out of nowhere, I got the camera set up. We're in a full interview, and all of a sudden we hear this like military helicopter flying around us.
That had to be Brad, because he has that high-performance helicopter.
Right, and all of a sudden the helicopter's behind us landing.
In the backyard?
In the backyard.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm just kind of like, what the hell? Right. Like,
yeah, no, I want to say Brad has taken over that property or like purchased the property.
Would make sense.
And like his mom still lives there.
Right.
And Brad also like rebuilt or it's however you want to do it, but he lives up there at that same address.
It's
and
a super cool
actually
place.
Works on his off-road trucks out of the garage where Bob was building all the cars.
I was going to say it would make total sense.
No,
it would make sense because the way he had that laid out, like there was their house, but then he had that like 2-story bitchin' workshop.
Yeah,
that was like something you see in a movie, and you're like, oh man, this is car guy heaven.
Brad has a pre-runner and a trophy truck side by side, and he does those desert races.
Yeah,
but he also has that company high-performance helicopters.
Right.
And he does all the like lifting and whatever.
That's exactly. He was doing timber. Like when he stopped, he was in not his high performance helicopter. He was in like a Vietnam like Huey style. But it was set up for logging.
Yeah, I want to say he did something with like one of the ski lifts. He was putting the post in.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
But he's that guy. And the funny thing too is like, I wish I could kind of show you guys, because when I say he landed in his backyard, you're kind of thinking, oh, it must have been really big. No. It's like on the top of the hill, and like he came up and like
it was like at the corner of the driveway, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like I mean, I was almost like ready to bail, like kind of
yeah.
like, dude, this guy's crashing, you know?
Yeah.
So, and he got out like, what's up? You know,
Yeah,
like,
no.
It's just a car to him.
yeah,
it's just
right.
a car.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Brad he's one of those guys where I say he can drive or fly anything.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You know, I've seen him.
Yeah.
We did a road trip to Texas about probably like 10 years ago. We drove to the Lone Star round. We're going to drive hot rods from California to Texas.
Right.
So we drove these cars to Texas, and we're in the hotel parking lot, and this one kid's bummed because they won't let him go into the car show, but he wants to go race his mini bike. And in Texas, they have this big mini bike race. He drove all the way here. They won't let him race.
Oh, come on.
So Brad, he has 3 mini bikes, and Brad goes, let's race right now. So Brad's racing this kid in the rain in the parking lot of the hotel.
Right on.
On his mini bike. And I'm like, Brad, you don't even know anything about this. He goes, what? It's
Whatever.
just another bike.
Yeah.
And just hops on his full throttle all the way. So,
Well, for most people, and let's kind of back up too on Bob, because you're right. Guys like ourselves, because we were exposed to that, we
Yeah.
know who he is. But
yeah.
when you look back on some of the very famous cars of not just, you know, Pete Shaporis
Yeah.
or what you guys did at SoCal, but
Yeah.
Boyd Coddington,
Yeah.
Bob was his
Right there.
right-hand guy.
Well, I mean, they were building cars together.
Together.
I mean, when they did
I mean,
like,
even from Boyd's garage
yeah.
days, yes.
when they were doing like, I mean, Cadzilla, when they were
Shazoom,
doing, all that stuff. They
yeah.
were, those icons were all working together for one goal, to build a bitching car.
Right.
So,
And those guys too at the time, you know, you had Little John Patera,
yeah.
Bob, and Boyd like hanging
Yeah.
out, and Pete,
Yeah.
all living in the same neighborhood, all hanging out and like building cars out of their garages.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
but then they turn into the icons that they became.
And then when I started at SoCal, I was like, dude, these are the people I saw in magazines.
Yeah.
Like, here I
Yeah,
am,
this
and
is
these
the
guys
whole-
are
I'm at the
coming
holy
in the
grail
shop.
of-
Like,
of shops,
I'm like
yeah.
starstruck.
Right.
But then I'm like, and then now I'm getting to drive. When I was going back to when I was working at SoCal, I'm getting to drive these cars.
Right.
Like, I got to drive Cadzilla from a shop in Pomona over here to the Fairplex.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to drive Limefire, Spencer 1, Spencer 2.
Right.
Cadzilla. I mean, all the SoCal roasters. And I'm going like, dude, people would die to do this.
I know,
stuff.
right?
And
Right.
here I'm just, it's just an
now
everyday
it's just
thing.
part of your job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yeah. So that obviously you're a lifer.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean, my dad had a restoration shop restoring Packards in Duesenberg, so I was brought up into the cars. But then as I got older, I was like, I want to learn everything my dad doesn't do.
Right.
And then I got a job at SoCal. I'm like, and then Pete ruined me.
Yeah.
He's like, here, you can take these parts. If they get you 70% of the way there, you can redo them all and get you the rest of the way there. So I
He's
mean,
right.
I'm willing to take anything apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you know
And then-
now, you know, have to figure it
Exactly.
all out.
That's real fun, because my dad also was a 30s restoration specialist. So
Yeah.
his thing was he was into the cars called Franklins.
okay.
And they were air-cooled cars
Yeah.
that mimicked all the, I mean, they weren't as nice as Packards. But
Yeah.
the funny thing was, as a kid, like vacations, we would be like going to Harrah's in Reno to go look at collections.
Oh, yeah.
You know, or like we would like, oh, we need to go to this place because they're, you know, Pebble Beach wasn't a thing when I was a kid,
Yeah.
but we'd have to go to like car club things. And at the time, those cars were only like maybe 40 or 50 years old. They weren't
Yeah.
70 or 80 years old.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and so that was always like, you know, yeah, we're going on vacation, but Dad, can we go to freaking Disneyland instead of going to like this
Yeah.
car show?
Yeah.
You know, but what I learned on it was, and I'm thankful for it, was the different color schemes through the 30s.
Oh, yeah.
They always have a richness to them. And if you think about it as a painter, they're kind of dead colors.
Yeah.
They're not really super vibrant. They don't
But
have
all those colors are coming back now.
But
you
all
know,
those
like
colors
these
are coming
earth
back.
tones and stuff. That
Yeah.
Even like the new cars with like this concrete gray and these tans that the Toyotas are putting
Yeah.
out.
All the subdued,
Like, this is, if you go back and
desaturated colors.
if you
a little
if you
bit,
take
yeah.
all the metallics and stuff out of them, they're just those 30s colors redone.
Right.
And like a lot of people are going back to these like 50s and 60s Porsche colors and stuff like that. But it's all, it's like, it's just a,
It's
all
just a
comes
way.
back
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just
certain
turns
things
over.
cycle
Exactly.
through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very tall man.
That was a very tall man. Jesus Christ. Whoa. Okay.
So if you've been following us on Auto Revolution and checked out some of our OBS Clash build series or even the documentary we did a few years ago, you know we do a lot of stuff with Beltec suspension. What's really cool is they partner with us to give you guys free shipping on every order that you use the code AutoRevolution at Beltec.com. Once again, you can get free shipping on everything from OBS lowering kits to Jeep and brand new lift kits. Sway bars, shocks, you name it, you can get it at Beltec.com. Use the code AutoRevolution at Beltec.com to get free shipping. Now back to the show.
So what? Obviously, you said took 6 years from start to finish from when you guys got the project for the Willys. What's been? When was the decision made to
bring
compete?
it down there?
Yeah, here.
Oh,
and,
to bring for this?
yes.
So
and-
we debuted the car. The customer was like, I was building the 2 cars for the customer. I said, hey, which one do you want first? Do you want your El Camino or do you want your Willys? And he goes, I got to have the Willys. So we said, okay, we're going to finish it for Grand National Roadster Show last year.
Oh, okay.
So we debuted it in January at Grand National, and they wanted me to put it in Sloniker.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I had more to this. There's more to the story. Is I also had my customer that wanted to do a roadster, which was one of the last cars Pete was involved in.
Touched, yeah.
That wanted to do that for AMBR.
Okay.
So I took on the thing of finishing 2 cars, and it was more of like the Bouter Shaporis. Being able to finish them both at the same time meant more to me than any trophy.
Right.
Yeah,
So I
that's
was
cool.
able to debut them in here. They wanted me to put the truck in Sloniker. I told them no,
Right.
because I already committed to doing the roadster for AMBR.
Yeah.
I said, but the only deal is if you want the roadster in AMBR, the truck's got to be debuted right next to it in the 20x20 next to it. So they gave up an AMBR spot for me to put the Willys pickup truck
Oh, fun.
in the main building. It was actually right where Bouter's panel truck was.
Okay.
Is that where I debuted that next to the roadster that Pete didn't get a finish, and I finished Bob's last build that he started.
Right.
So that meant more to me, and I'm good friends with Peter and SoCal. I left on good terms with them.
Good.
And the Bouter family, I'm good friends with Diana and Brad and Danny, so it meant more for their approval and every guy that I worked with at SoCal to approve of what we've done
Right.
on those 2 cars. That was kind of cool. Well, when I did that, instantly John Buck's like, you got to bring it to the truck show.
Right.
You got to have it here.
Yeah.
So we decided then that we were going to bring it back in September and compete for the world's most beautiful truck. So,
That works.
And
Well,
and it's also up for a finalist for Good Guys Truck of the Year.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, we took it down to Del Mar, and it got the top 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's in
So
that.
you're in the running for that.
So we'll find out next week on that one.
Right.
So
Exactly.
we could either have a really bad 2 weeks or we could have a really good 2 weeks. We don't know.
Never know.
or half and half.
But it's all
never
there's a
know.
lot of
Right.
politics that play in it. You got to play the game. You
Yeah.
got to post a lot of pictures. So we're learning that.
Yeah.
I'm not too good at that, but we're working on it. We're work in progress.
You know, that's funny too. We've had on a couple judges this week. We've also had some contestants on like yourself, and we keep asking them like,
I
'Cause
don't
a
know
lot
how
of-
they judge this.
right? Well, that's the hard thing.
How do you
Right?
put these cars together? Because
Yeah.
it's like that truck is one style truck, and then
And
you
we-
got these
we
square
talked about
bodies.
that,
yeah.
I'm like, these square bodies are bitchin' trucks.
Right.
But I'm going
Yeah.
like,
There's more variety within this truck deal than you would at Amber because it's
Yeah.
337. You know, there's
Yeah.
only so many vehicles, so
yeah,
many
you only
styles.
have so many options you can
Yeah.
pick from. But this
But now
is
you got
like,
a 4-wheel drive.
you
know,
can
lifted
have
truck.
someone bring a dually and put it in there, and I'm
Right.
like, that'd be bitchin'. Like, I
Right.
kind of want to build a mini truck now, just hanging out here.
Well, and what?
So
There you go.
these dancing beds outside.
No, I mean,
like,
but
Right,
like,
I know.
like-
That's
like,
fun.
The Ranger right here competed
Yeah.
the first year.
Yeah.
For World's Most Beautiful.
and there's nothing wrong with them. They're all nice trucks. I just don't. It's like,
It's-
how do
it's
you
comparing-
What's the qualification on the
Yeah.
judges? Like,
So one of the judges, and we don't know who won.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
ask them that,
Right,
and they
right.
weren't going to tell us.
Yeah.
But what he was saying is, look at being that there is, you know, a mini truck to a C10 to a lifted truck to a
40
Willys
Willys, yeah.
to a 32, you know, pickup.
Yeah.
Look at for what that style is or what that vehicle is. Has everything been done to the potential of what
It should
could
be.
be or what
Yeah.
it should be?
yeah,
Then you could take that one for a 4-wheel drive. Has everything done of what it should be for being a 4-wheel drive
Exactly.
classic. Then okay, now they're on the same
Yeah.
playing field. Now
because I came into
You can
it
pick it
because we
apart or
just
something.
did the AMBR judging. So I was like, I'm treating it as like, you got to come in
and
here.
similar to that.
You got to
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
them judging books, and then I
Yeah.
get here, I'm like, no one's giving out judging books. Well, fuck it, we'll just give them anyways.
Right, right.
So
No, but they appreciate that.
yeah,
They
no,
do.
but I was like, you know what? If they're in question, they can come back. They can look a little bit more into it
Yeah.
while they're sitting there. And
Yeah.
I'm
So yeah, that way too, you're telling them what they should be looking for.
Yeah.
At least that way, if they do happen to miss something or maybe they have a question of why you did it.
Yeah.
Flip back through
You
there,
can
and it kind
see
of tells
why.
the whole
Yeah.
story. And but I mean, it's like it'd be hard because some judges like that style truck, and some of them like the early hot rod style stuff. Some guys like the lifted truck. So it's like you might get it's like I didn't know how they picked the judges or how they were involved. I was like, this is all I don't know. It's all new to me.
No, but
that's where also then you trust the judges to be impartial to that. But they've mixed it up pretty decently with media guys, builders.
Yeah, it looks like they
have
have some magazines
designers.
involved. Designers, builders.
Some people that have showed, at a similar level, truck guys. So
a lot. I mean, like that square body truck's super nice. That silver C10's really nice truck.
I know.
I'm like, those are the kind of trucks that I would want to drive all the time. I don't want to drive this Willys, because I don't want to hurt it.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I can hop in that and drive down the street. So
and they of course feel the same way.
Yeah,
they're like, I'm not driving. This is a show truck. I'm not gonna drive that thing. Right.
They put it in the trailer, take it home.
Yeah.
Totally. Give it back to the customer and take it away.
Right.
So
tell me, what do you think? What's your Easter egg? What's your favorite part of the build? This Willys.
I think my favorite part is, and I was a little bit when we first started the truck, it had an LSA in it with the supercharger intercooler, and I was like, I'm not getting that wow factor. And then the customer come in and goes, "You got to do something different to that motor. I want that pop thing." And I'm like, so we started collaborating. Me and my brother and the guy Jack at Jack's Motorsport.
Okay.
He did all the wiring on the truck. It's all mil spec trophy truck.
Right.
Harness steel. We were like, what if we put a 671 blower, but we hid it all inside the truck? So we started, we can't tell Larry we want to do this unless it can be done. So we started doing some research. Okay, well, they make a manifold, but it's for boats. Let's put that on there. We started stacking up stuff to see if we could fit it all inside of the hood.
Right.
And we were able to come up with that idea. And then once we did that, that kind of took everything and it kind of made it feel like,
now you knew how to work around everything.
It's like it had that wow. You open the hood, you get that big blower. You got that bug catcher right there.
Right.
And that really kind of brought it all together because the outside of the trucks always looked cool. When it came to us, it had that Bouter stance. It had the real low profile front tire, the real wide front wheel that was started out as a rear wheel.
Right.
And then those big back ones. And it was just like, it's like a house unfinished.
Sure.
And then I got to figure out but doing that motor, because I was not excited about opening the hood and just seeing this. I mean, it just doesn't fit. I guess in those 30s and 40s cars, you got to have something that kind of fits the period of what you're building, and that's to more of a 60s style truck there for me. Doing that really kind of got me re-excited about building the truck.
Right. Well, no, but it makes sense, like you said, because that stance has, and those guys.
It wouldn't look the same if you open it up and just saw that LSA
you just
in
go,
there going okay.
What are you doing with this, right? You need something that looks over the top, lots of horsepower.
So we had Jeff Ginter Racing Engines. He built this, which builds all the trophy truck motors for Herps Racing.
Right.
So they built us the motor.
Okay.
It was a big change and an expensive change, but I think it helps make the truck what it is.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's what people are expecting to see. And you get that wow and that pop when you open that hood.
Well, it's reliable. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's a thirsty one.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, horsepower likes to eat. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
what was kind of the last few weeks of preparation on that truck to get it here for this show?
Like before we debuted it or before we brought it here?
I mean, a little bit of both. Just more or less to bring a vehicle out to this level and compete at this.
Hold on. Two parts of that question.
Yeah.
Because we were just talking to Mike Barsha, who's one of the judges.
Yeah.
And he pointed out, he didn't mention anybody's car directly.
Yeah.
But he pointed out how much time it takes just to clean.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And like he even said, now and of course, you might be familiar with him. He has a dually that's won a lot of stuff.
I didn't know a lot about him, so I did like anybody. I looked him up on social media.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta find who's judging me.
Bitchin' dually.
Right.
It has the red chassis.
Yes.
So I started looking at it because you're trying to go, well, what is this guy doing? And I'm just looking at all these names, so I started searching Facebook and Instagram like anybody else. I'm like, fuck, this, now that would be cool. I mean, I get more excited. Dude, I'm really into dualies. So I really want to.
Well, then
bring
we'll make
a
sure
dually
you talk
next
to
year.
Mike.
I really want to build a cool dually.
Right. Well, but that was you'll have to listen to his episode because he was talking about all the disadvantages of building a dually for a show truck.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Because it's just that much more
I just
real
want to build a
estate.
cool dually to drive. I don't want to make a show truck.
Well, that was his original idea 20 years ago.
Yeah,
but.
right. But it snowballed. But what he was saying is that when he shows at something similar to this, that it's a 40-hour prior to the show cleaning session.
Yeah.
Just to clean it.
So I would agree with that because we took the truck up to Pleasanton for Good Guys.
Okay.
Then I was like gonna just leave it parked in one spot.
Right.
Oh no. You're up for truck of the year. You got to move it over to the grass section. You got to get in there.
Yeah.
So I ended up winning Builder's Choice Top 10.
Okay.
Along with a lot of these high-end cars, and a lot of the trucks that were in the top 10 are here, which is cool. But so we bring it back from Pleasanton. I've literally worked on that truck, cleaning it from when we got back from Pleasanton, beginning of September, till this show.
Oh, that's insane.
We disassembled the exhaust.
Right.
Sent it out, got it repolished. I took apart the brakes. Turned the rotor so they look
all
basically
fresh.
the customer wanted us to look like it was brand new off the showroom.
Just built.
I had well you know Phil,
right.
our detailer, he was over there for a week and a half cleaning the bottom of the chassis. He was using shoelaces to polish the brake lines and fuel lines. I mean, the kid is awesome. He's polishing the wheels and tires. He like nerds out on cleaning the tread of the tires.
Yes.
I couldn't find a better person to help us out clean that truck than Phil.
Yeah.
But he spent 2 weeks cleaning the entire chassis, laying on his back.
Right.
And then on top of that, I had a different crew of guys that were helping him come in and because Mix painted the truck.
Sure.
He wants only his guys to work, and they had 4 guys polishing it. I think you probably saw it on setup day.
Yeah.
They're all laying under there doing their thing. But it's probably. I mean, I think we probably have 80 hours.
80 hours.
But we have. It was a lot of work, disassembling, reassembling. I had the grill out of it.
Right.
I mean,
a lot of
everything
work.
but taking the bed off the truck.
Yeah.
But we were trying to get in every nook and cranny that we can.
Right.
I mean, when you start driving these trucks, they get dirty.
Yeah.
And it's okay, but when you want to show it at this show and you got to put it up in the air and put all these mirrors, because I think the truck looks really good sitting on the ground, but people don't see what's under it.
Yeah.
You have to kind of go through it.
And that's another funny thing, too, because a friend of ours who's also in contention right now for the World's Most Beautiful Truck is, Pat, that's got the F100.
Okay.
And he did the Schloneker this year.
Yeah.
But he made the mistake of not having a display and showed it on the ground.
Yeah.
And his theory was everything was about the stance.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's how we debuted the truck in January.
Right.
I was at it. No, not up in the air.
Yeah.
You got this, and ours isn't no airbag truck. It's static.
Right.
It's like 3 inches off the ground.
Right. But that was
I lost points because of that, but I stood my ground.
And that was the other thing too. That when Pat said, "Hey, I didn't win. I don't know why," and my first response was, "Well, you can't judge what you can't see. So if you're going to go to that show or a show like that, you've got to put it in the air." And you've got to be able to, but also have photos of it on, have that stance photo.
I think it was good because you do that drive-in judging.
Yeah.
They get to see it come in. They get to see it work. They get to see how you sit in the car, how you look in the car, how it sounds. And they were impressed. They were like, dude, you didn't have to do a 3-point turn to go around this corner.
Right.
Like you were able just to come
Just
around. I'm like,
drive it.
Well, we did a lot of practice driving the truck to make sure that before we finalized control arms, that we could steer it and do everything we need to do with knowing that this is the right height.
Right.
This is what Bob would do.
Yeah.
He was going to drive it at this height. We're going to make it work at this height.
Right, right.
So there's a lot of time. I think I spent a lot of nights thinking about this truck that I don't even get paid for. So
Yeah.
But
that's all part of it.
Well, I know exactly. And I don't think customers realize that, how much time their projects sit in our heads.
Well, even just coming here, I'm not sleeping good. I'm waking up going,
yeah.
oh, you got to do this. I got to get there and do that. And and it's a lot of mental.
Right.
So
right. Well,
but
we'll see in a couple hours if that's
we'll
all going to pay off, right?
I mean, I feel sorry for the judges.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff, and it's like if you like trucks, you can find something in here you like.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that's what I was saying. I walk around like, fuck, maybe I need to build a mini truck. This is kind of cool. I mean, I'm looking at stuff that I would never thought that I would be interested in. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
I can get into this.
Yeah.
But no, a lot of nice trucks, a lot of different trucks, and I just don't. Yeah, like you said, like what are the judges like? What are they? And you don't know.
I mean, I like the fact that they have a very diverse group that have completely
Designers,
different backgrounds, but are still within the scene.
Oh yeah,
Right. I mean, it's not like they didn't have a guy
they're just not nobodies.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So everyone.
They're not a. I mean, even there are a judge that have judged Amber or Sloniker.
Yeah.
But they're not only that. Like,
Yeah, they can judge.
one of
it.
the judges is, that we were talking to earlier, Don's started a mini truck shop in 1973.
Right.
He's always had trucks.
Yeah,
So he's
no,
also judged Amber and won
Yeah.
Amber
Right.
or contended for Amber
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like at least they also are people that understand trucks and
No, and that's
You don't have a
that's
car
just
guy.
a strict
Yeah.
strict.
I was
hot
saying,
rodder.
but you could almost put guys that, like some of these guys that have these big collections of cars, they might not build cars,
Right.
but they know them.
Yeah.
You could put one of those guys on the panel and go, what do you think?
Right.
Being a
right.
collector, what do you think?
Yeah.
And I think that would be interesting to do in future shows or that.
Maybe that's the case. Maybe they might only have the judges on like 1 or 2 years.
Well, I heard that they give them like a list. Okay, these are the people that are going to be competing this year. Do you know any of them? Or
Yeah,
that?
yeah, so
And
you
then
can't
they
have favoritism.
because you can't have a favoritism.
Right.
So they weed out that, and that might go, okay, well, this guy, he can't be involved this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. We'll find out.
Right. We'll find out in a little bit here.
If not, we had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Cool.
Well, your booth's been buzzing all week too. So I mean, the
Yeah.
part I've been, walking by, I usually see it. A lot of people in
There's
there.
a lot
so.
of crowd around there.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Cool.
I'm sure your swag sales are doing pretty well.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
yeah, good.
Actually, moving, when we did Grand National, we moved to Building 4 being in Amber.
Yeah.
Probably a good business choice for me.
Definitely.
People are like, oh, you stepped up finally, because I was back in Building 7 for the longest
Yeah,
time.
you got
And
moved up to the
you got to
nice
step up
building.
to the big boys. So
Yeah.
Right.
we stepped in the arena this year with 2 high-profile cars, and I think we found our spot. We just got to talk with John about getting a spot that we can display cars that aren't going for big trophies,
Yeah.
but are still nice drivers.
Right.
Because I like to build cars that you can drive to, and they don't all have to be show cars.
Right. And
So-
it's tough too, because like you said, I mean, Building 4 has been like the showroom, if you want to call it that. So, and of course it's only one room.
Yeah.
So real estate is
Premium.
premium,
Yeah.
right? So it's tough to say like,
I'm just trying to find my niche.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
We'll work on that. But
Yeah.
we're having fun.
well, what are you working on now? I mean,
We
can you
got-
talk?
Yeah, we're good.
Right.
I got a 71 El Camino.
Okay.
Same guy, Larry.
Same guy, right?
Larry, we're doing a 71 El Camino that we're gonna probably be debuting at Grand National. Probably not this year. Probably the following year.
Okay.
Or maybe it might debut here
Maybe here,
next
huh?
year at the truck show.
If it's, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
just kind of
doesn't
depending on
define
when
the
it
truck.
all gets when we did the Willys, we started assembling it in November,
Okay.
knowing we had to have it done for January 1st.
Well, of course.
This one I don't want to do it so fast.
Yeah.
I want to take my time a little bit more. But we got that. I got 3 32s that are really cool.
Right.
We're doing that restoration on Bob Bauder's sedan.
Okay.
I got a 40 Ford that we're doing that's going to be here at Grand National.
Right.
Just the driver.
Okay.
Did a bunch of. It was a nice painted car. We changed a bunch of stuff. New motor, wheels and tires, lowered it. That will be here for Grand National. So, yeah, we got a shop full of cars.
Nice.
If you guys are in the area,
cool.
come by and check
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
out. We
No,
got-
definitely.
we got a lot-
Definitely.
we're in the old SoCal building.
Yeah,
so-
that's right, huh?
nice.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Where else
anytime you're in the area.
Can people find you on, Instagram?
Yeah, we're working.
What's
We're
your website, all
we're
that?
work in progress on that media stuff. We kind of
Come on.
We gotta Phil,
Right.
his buddy is big into taking photos, so he's gonna help us out, try to push us to get more involved in the media stuff. So
You should,
we
yeah.
need to get a website going. We do have an Instagram. We're really poor about posting stuff other than when we're coming to shows, but we're gonna try to change that.
What's the Instagram?
Veazie Bros Fabrication. So
Okay.
And VeazieBrosFabrication.com for the website,
yeah.
or you say you
No,
still got to do the website?
We still
Still
haven't
gotta
done
do
a
the
website, so we need.
Well, if you need somebody, I know
Okay.
somebody.
You know
Me.
someone? You
Yeah.
know someone that can help me?
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Yeah.
We need to do something, and we got these T-shirts, and they do good at the show. So my brother's laughing at me over there.
Yeah.
But,
Right. All right.
we got
Spying
the
on you.
shirts do good at the show, but I need to do something. I mean, we post a picture on Instagram of
Yeah.
our T-shirts, and then the next thing you know, we'll spend 3 or 4 days shipping out shirts.
Right.
But if we had a website where people can go on and purchase them, and then we just come in there and drop them in the mail, that might be a
Yeah.
little bit easier. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. All right.
Cool. It was fun.
Well, Evan, thanks, man.
Yeah, I
Hey,
appreciate you
This
sitting
was
down
really
with
cool,
us
and best of luck to you.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll find out in a little
see
bit
what
here.
happens,
I'll have to
right?
go listen to some of these other guys you interviewed when you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we know you guys are watching at Auto Revolution on YouTube, but catch us on Auto Revolution on YouTube.
Yeah.
And also our Instagram, Auto Revolution.
Okay.
But I think,
Yeah,
I think it's
good.
great.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
thank
It
you
was
to the
fun.
Grand to the Grand National Truck Show for letting us set up here in our little TMI seat lounge, and thank you, Evan, for being on. And
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks.